How many games? Okay, so Renegades beat them 16-14. That was the first series.
I think you're right.
How many games back is it?
Yeah, it was like the third time they faced each other this event. Yeah, so the third map they played.
The third map in the first series?
Third map of the first series.
Right, okay. That makes sense. But we are underway. 3 Kevlar players for Renegades. JKS and Sponge, the 2 without. That's 4 on the other side. There's a no kit, actually. I take that back, so they just wanted smokes for Fancy. Attacker does get a refrag on Yam, but they've given up Highway, so even if they have to play the retake, they don't have a kit to do so with. And all 4 of them right now are going to group and go Highway together. If there was a nade, it would be perfect. And it does come down to Ustillo on 41 that plays forward, waiting for them to cross inside of the site, but Fancy and Attacker picking up kills apiece, and they wrapped around the backside of that. Ustillo has to fight forward and rotate in just to get a position and get a footing in this 41 HP, and he has 2 more to find, but he's got 1. He jumps up to get the information, he can't land it. Somebody gets the shot instead.
Very close round though. Ustillo doing everything he could, just bursting over with the Glock fire. Well, jumping over with the Glock burst fire, I should say. And it's going to be somebody taking the pistol here. TyLoo go up 1-0 on Cash. But the bomb does get planted for Renegade. So we did see them before, obviously when they were up against the rope a little bit more, they went in for the Tech 9s and body armor. That can be a very viable strategy on towards Cash. It means you could actually do that, of course, in this round and have 1 smoke. Looks like they'll be doing the more traditional style, though, of AKs in the third. It was quite a fast play towards Highway. A great shot there from Yam. 180 spin towards events, and it looked like Renegades did have a chance to get that one down, just unable to finish things off. TyLoo now coming in with a full rifle buy, so they were kind of anticipating the force in the second. Could be a possibility. Regardless, this does mean they are ready for the AKs in the third. Just means they need to have a very clean round this time. Not much utility. Decent nade going through the now.
Deep to do damage onto the 3 players made it into the site first, though. Azur does get a headshot. Azur's got 2 headshots. Takes down Captain Mo. Now it's back to a 3 versus 3. An additional bomb plant for Renegades. Coming in this round. Good play from Attacker to just hold the anger. Catches Azur trying to rotate back toward a man, and the other 2 players can be locked in behind quad, and they walk out and make it too easy for TD.
Too easy. Well, they do manage to pick up 2 frags and get the bomb down as well. It's actually very beneficial for the terrorists. That's all they really wanted from that. That's better, in fact. I'd say the bomb would have been more than enough. That means that they get a very decent buy going into this one. CTs need to be careful now after that rifle investment. They're going to be struggling going into this. I think they could even justify an AWP here. They're not going to. They're going to go for the AKs and full utility. JKS coming in now with the final few nades. They have got 5 of them, and Molotovs as well. Very important on a map like Cash, flushing out areas like quad, MVK, sandbags in middle, and to forklifts as well. We'll see what Renegades can bring to the first round. This is massive for TyLoo. You can see they've got a FAMAS and a UMP as well, so a little bit strapped for Cash. Round number 3.
New events. Molotov well thrown. Ustillo goes down to 26 and has to jump off this. He's going to go back up, but this puts somebody in a good position with the UMP up close in middle. And in fact, very heavy mid stance right now from TyLoo.
It's surprising how he's taken so much damage. I'm wondering if there was HE grenades there as well. That's quite a lot to take from a very standard incendiary.
I believe that was the Molotov off to vents. Actually, there's a little bit deeper than that. Either way, decent smokes out on the A site. Ustillo, though, that 26 HP won't deter him any. He takes down Attacker. Wall of smokes inside of the site means they can't do much to deny the plant. Somebody finds a gap in it, though. Jumps up on top of the barrels and manages the shot to Yam. Pop flash horribly thrown, but that's another story. Because Fancy catches Ustillo still late lurking. It's down to 3s again. And Fancy and both Captain Mo have kits to work with. They can take their time to execute and try and figure out exactly what Azur is up to, but he's up to no good. He's up to very good, in fact, for Renegades, because he's pushed around the site. He's managed to take down 2, and it comes to a 1-on-1. DD's going to go back around and rotate to find him, but Azur holds on and gets 4 kills total in the round.
Another massive performance from Azur. 4 kills and wins a huge clutch for them as well. Had the CTs won that, it gets them back in towards the game. It's a fact TyLoo are 2-1 up, but they have to eco now as well, so that's big for Renegades. And you can see they can kind of calm down a little bit here. We'll see what TyLoo decide to do. You've got 1 player in the form of Fancy One. He's got $4,700. We'll see whether they decide to force into this at all. We'll have a look. Let's get these replays done and dusted. Great round there from Azur. But yeah, this is going to be playing a more conservative game. CZs, PT50s, a little bit of armor. Renegades now with the contact A play, Molotov in, very basic approach here, just going to be forcing their way in, sticking as a unit. It's going to be Captain Mo though with that PT50, gets the first one, can't find 2 though. Yam and Ustillo answer back, and that should be the round secured. The bomb will be planted and just consolation frags now. It's going to be nothing really the CTs can do at this point.
DD inside the main position as well with one of the two pistols. PT-50 for him. Just looking for exits at this point. Oh, good read. Great read. Bye-bye attacker. And DD just needs to be found. Azur already spots his head up and takes him down as well. Another 2 kills for Azur, 6 over the last 2 rounds. He's seemingly on the pace that he was on Mirage.
Yeah, he's at a lights out tournament. Another huge performance from him here. 9 kills, 2 deaths. It's currently 2-2. And the CTs are going to be investing into this round. It's not the strongest, but they will be coming into it. No kits, a UMP, a FAMAS, 3 M4s, only 1 incendiary as well. It'll be very important in terms of actually holding off those initial rushes. There's going to be somebody with that incendiary, not dropping it just yet. This is a chance now for Renegades to really get rolling. Yeah, I'm getting boosted up quickly. Goes for 1-2-2. That should be an easy kill, surely. Actually goes for a difficult spray, and it's going to be Captain Mo pushing in towards A storage. Spun does take down the attacker, and look at somebody somehow getting away with this.
Still in there as well, was blinded up, and they never checked it. Azur's going to try and come over top of Boost to make up for it. Does find 1 spray down. Finds Fancy as well. A very good response from Azur. Again, who pulls them back into this round.
Yeah, very nice stuff from him. 3-on-2. We can see Captain Mo now pushing in towards A storage. We'll be looking for this boost frag as well. Actually, somehow takes down JKS. I thought he had the drop on him as well. And Azur feeling confident once more, and he gets it as well. He gets his 3rd of the round, and now it's up to DD. He's actually in towards the B storage, so they will be planting here. Can get a nice open one as well. As we hit the 1-minute mark, there's the plants, and CTs don't have kits, remember, so they'll be coming from A storage. So if you can find that kill for Azur, who's very low HP indeed, this could be the opening he needs.
Spray down the one, DD. Successful, and Azur 6 HP. Bomb continues to tick, 2 stacked at quad. With low HP, that might be saving grace for Azur, and it does work out because DD doesn't expect him to be there, and when he holds it true, 6 HP and he wins the duel.
This is a nuts series from Azur. There's clutches all over the place, multiple frags. That's another 4-man for him. And actually breaks the economy of TyLoo as well. He's playing out of his mind right now, 13 for 2. And gives Renegades their 3rd round.
When you consider they're in the lead right now, and the next most kills on his team is 4, I think that says enough.
I like it that everyone's kind of high-fiving each other, but it's actually just Azur going, guys, I did all the work there. Let's be real, yeah?
Yeah, don't touch me. I don't want your high fives.
Well, then they will be going into round number 6. They have got 4 AKs and a UMP on Yam, and the CTs not really much to work with here. A couple of upgraded pistols with the sponge weapon things up. He takes on somebody. The DD in an interesting position. For some reason, not checking that close angle, and he's getting the bomb as well. Does get taken down in the end, but he does make it a little bit more expensive than it should be for the terrorist. Attacker and Fancy One both in towards that upper area. Maybe he can get 1 kill out of this. Sponge spots 1. He gets the vision in the 2nd as well, but he's now on 19 HP. So
as soon as that came in, you saw that happening.
Yeah.
Too bad DD couldn't hit that shot sooner with the CZ, because the problem with the reload speed is he had no chance to pick up a 2nd once he lost that many bullets.
Number 7, we'll see whether any AWPs come out here. I'm almost certain they will. Azur still leading the charge, 13 with 2. Have a look at the TyLoo side as well. Top fraggers are somebody and DD. They're on 6 apiece. And JKS actually yet to get a kill.
I was going to say, yeah, but I guess that's because Azur's doing it all.
True. Well, there you go then. The AWP is out now for Captain Mo. There's the Yam boosted up once again. He's not AWPing so far. And Sponge hasn't got a weapon. I think he's left that back in spawn. What's going on there? Why has he just got a Glock? There it is.
And Mo hits JKS as well, so no kills still in this round. 6 in, he's got nothing. Somebody spots one at boost. Decent shots into Yam. As they're hoping someone pushes out towards Squeaky as well. They just slowed this down, Renegades having lost that first pick, having gone down early. They need to be slow and calculated on making sure they can find a way back into this round.
Yeah, 5-on-4 now. They do have a lack of utility really, the terrorists. You can see no smokes now. As Yam does look for this first kill. The CT's falling back, quite a passive hold. Considering they have that man advantage, don't want to give anything away here. Allow Captain Mo just to find the picks, hold back, give them mid control as well, that's fine. You know, we have an AWP towards quad time and hold them off, and they will be making their way towards that highway area.
Shoulder peeks out, realizes there's at least 3 facing him. Gives the call to DD to try and peek through Z connector, but all they have to do is contain this pressure. Smart read from Renegades as well, though, because as they push back and somebody's low on HP, they're going to go immediately down and wrap to heaven. Somebody can't spot them. They're already there. Yustillo takes down DD, and they can push into the site. Fancy's going to be locked in, but they don't check checkers, and he gets a free kill. A second one as well. Yam doesn't get the communication. Yustillo may drop and take him down, but it's now a 1 versus 3, and he's caught in transition.
There it is. It's got opening pick. The AWP finally finding something here for TyLoo. I got a sneeze, Matt.
Bless you. Did you sneeze? I didn't even hear you.
I did. I was trying to stifle it, though. So, yeah, TyLoo, once they finally get the AWP, that's Captain Mo. We said he is one of the greatest players in the Asian region, finding his first pick. Very aggressive AWPer. He gets the pick and then falls back. And then at that point, it's forcing Renegades into unfavorable situations. They go towards middle, get control of it, and play that play towards highway, and is unable to make it work for themselves.
We have a timeout for the same reason we had a timeout for in the very first map when we started things off. It does appear as though PK is not in TeamSpeak.
Come on, PK.
Get it together, man. You know what Scoots would say about this?
No.
I don't either.
Where were you going with that?
Come on, you know the catch line.
I don't know.
Get out of my industry. Just ask Richard Lewis. It's not his fault. We shouldn't be pinning it on PK like that. That's not fair of us, Henry. Does seem to be some sort of networking.
You say us.
You just said, come on, PK, get it together.
No, I just said, come on, PK.
That's true. You kind of. It's a neutral statement. I looked at it from the negative perspective.
Anyway.
It's my mistake.
I'm sure it'll be rectified. For anyone wondering what he needs the communications for, he is the coach. In the Valve setup, you don't get to be on the server. You're allowed to be behind them, though, on voice communications. That's as much as you're allowed. I guess it's an interesting one in terms of they want the experience to be the players at home to get the same experience as the pros are in the boost. So that's the whole idea. And the Valve events, you don't get to have the 6th player, as it were, who can take the load off the in-game leader. He has to have the same responsibility.
How do you feel of this?
I don't know. I feel like we need to be consistent with that. Some tournaments are allowing it, and then obviously the majors sets the tone for the rest of it, like the rest of the tournaments, really. So if the majors doesn't allow it, I think all the other tournaments shouldn't.
But that's where you're leaving a lot of power in the hands of a few people who
make the game.
They make the game, 100%. They make the game, but should the governing body also be the people who make it?
The round time thing, we used that.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true, and that was forced in. But I think, in my opinion, that
pools,
they're saying of. Yep. No, you're right on all of that. They're saying of. That they want the experience at home to be the same. Well, it's not. It's already not. These guys are on land. They're playing in a very, very different environment under very different circumstances. And at this level, the top level of CS, I think coaches are warranted. I think that's something that should be granted. So I'm not sure.
Well, that's the coach. They do have a coach.
Right. Okay, but I mean in game. I think it should be.
Yeah. It's just like the idea is like he takes quite a lot of the load off the in-game leader.
Yeah, of course.
And
well, we know teams are trying to do that completely. I mean, look at Threat with NIP.
But yeah, definitely. Maybe we should we'll have a podcast soon.
Absolutely.
We can break it down. But Yustillo, as we get back into this one, is round number 8, and he does get the first frag. He has had quite a series, I have to say, but he is getting the first kill here. Captain most of the live there, but it's Yam. He's got the AWP now. It takes down attacker. And slowly but surely, they're finding the picks across the board. And this would be a reset for TyLoo as well. He needs to be very careful here as we get to the 1 minute mark. So Mo back towards the CT truck. He'll be smoked out. Not going to be firing off a shot yet. He'll sort of give his position away.
Captain Mo as well with the AWP, looking for that gap toward the forklift. He's given up on that because he wants to get closer to the boost. Oh! How was the reaction that slow from Yam as well? Because it looked like Mo wouldn't even come close to it. Lights up the second one. That's going to be an aid to kill him. It's going to be finished off. DD's.
Okay.
No, what? Sponge? How did he stay alive there? I have to see where that nade landed. Because apparently, I think that's the crater marker on the ground over to its right. It didn't quite go. It bounced it back out too far. So Sponge was gifted some more life than he should have had, but it's still down to the 2 versus 2. And Azur's going to get overwhelmed. Fancy with the kill. A good face from JKS, but Molotov limits him, and he's on it. He's actually holding this defuse. JKS isn't going to get there in time. It's done. TyLoo take the round.
Oh, dear. Very scrappy affair then. That boost, you're absolutely right. I'm not sure what was going on there. They go for the boost, and you'd assume Yam has like a bird's eye view of the entire section of that a bomb side, but it seems to be either scoped him, maybe he's double scoped towards highway. That's all I can really think was going on. Even if I think the single scope, you'd have still seen him. But it's going to be TyLoo. Like I said, that's an impressive round for them to retake it, because considering the circumstances, it was the first 2 picks going in favor of Renegades. The retake comes up from TyLoo. It's Mo who kills one, legs the other, and enables them to actually get that nade kill towards Sponge. And dodge the reset as well. So we go to round number 9. Decent buy from the CTs, not so much from terrorists. They've got 3 Tech 9s and an AK and an AWP. That's it. It's going to come down to Yam. Can he make anything happen? There it is. Gets the first kill.
And you saw that little nifty Molotov that they threw out at the start of that on A main. It actually blooms in order. Yam's got 2 from up there now. It blooms to deny the Molotov from being exactly where he's standing, because we saw that be an issue with Ustillo on the first gun round, when Azur ended up clutching it out with 4 kills. But
yeah,
4-4 our scoreline, so we do finally have a very close game on our hands.
Finally.
Flash toward A main, will blind up a few, but the smoke out. Molotov's already clearing quad. They're going to start to execute regardless, and it's a single smoke only to cover off fork to red. Yam's got the shot, follow it up. Ustillo, Tech 9 at middle takes down somebody, and it's suddenly a 1 versus 5. And Fancy's going to fall as well. Very, very efficient round from Renegades.
Absolutely. That's Yam going ham. See, good catch over.
It is good, yeah. I like it.
Towards that boost platform, he gets the first 2 kills. I'd be interested to see that from his POV. I'm not sure how he got gifted those 2 after getting the first. I'm not sure why a CT would come in and face like that, but... Oh, there it is. Now we can see it perfectly. Nice work.
Yeah.
First one through the box. Headshot, of course. And this is a weird face. That's Captain Mo. I guess he's got the AWP. He's trying to get the refrag any way he can, but it's Yam. He steps up, gets 3 kills around, and this is a full eco now for the CTs. And it's weird from Renegades. I'm not sure I'm a fan of their anti-eco approaches. They seem to stick as a 5 and just choose an area without showing defaults on the map whatsoever. They have nice execute, so I guess this is one thing that works in their favor. They clear everything out. There's Molotovs all over the side. They're using the smokes effectively, so it's still absolutely fine. And this means that they don't have much presence in terms of the flanks, and which is what to hold them off as they're showing right now. But they do get the kills, and it's a pretty clean round in the end. 6-4 for the terrorists. I'll have a look at the money for the CTs now. They presumably don't have enough for an AWP. I think they have to take another eco here, you know. Yeah, they do. So it's about 3.3k average. And we'll see whether they can do anything with this PT50s, maybe the HE. They seem to like that approach. It's JKS finding some confidence here. Good 3 kills to do.
Considering he was very slow to start, but he's up to 5 now. It's not like it's his fault that Azur's been getting every kill under the sun. He's slowed a little bit. He was on 13 2 rounds ago. He's 15 now.
They tried the HEs towards that boost one CTs, but got a little bit of damage off. Not too much though. Going to be not pushing into A main, but getting very close to it. A little crossfire setup here from Forklift and the boost spot as attacker. But they'll just wait for the smoke to go down.
Gonna check the smoke though. JKS considered it, excuse me, but when the smoke started to fade, he actually moved away from the angle. Luckily, he does turn back to get the shot. Sponge follows up. They're under Fancy. Shot from Dini, better still as he takes Ustillo jumping over top of red. But it's somebody versus 3. Palm, can he deny it? Whoa, that was slow reactions. He almost could have had a chance there, but either way, he does find a kill on a JKS. It's answered by Sponge.
Expensive round there, but still, Renegades holding on and considering the cash they have available. Yam with almost 10k and JKS left with 6. They've got tons of money here to play with. It's not a big deal. TyLoo now, they have got the AWP set up, and this is the play from Didi. Great shot with the Desert Eagle. Got 2 for his money there before he got taken down. It's still just a single AWP setup. Let's see what Mo can do this round. Moving on to number 12. Yam has been the one getting a lot of these opening picks to kick the round. No, actually quite a passive hold, just holding towards that CT struck, and they'll be pushing through middle. Smokes come in, it's Sponge to get the first kill. Now they can hold back a little bit.
Molotov nearly reaching into the corner. Renegades, so it was 4-4. Have finally started to build up a bit of a lead here, T side on cash. Now we won't overread that because we know as of late the map has been very balanced.
Yes.
In the way that it plays.
CT's not reacting heavily. It's 4-4. I think there's a player towards sandbag still. Yeah, it's attacker, so he'll be able to face and get some intel here. It looks like the terrorists will be making their way towards the ace site. 2 players in the squeaky door, 2 towards main. Have to act quickly here. There comes the Molotov smoke, presumably towards the quad area, and then BK as well. It's going to force back on the save, but almost gets a double spray down there as it takes him down in the end. And now the CTs have got the man advantage.
Captain Mo to find someone crossing out so that attacker can start to work inside the site more safely, but now that he's comfortable with clearing the angles, a flash goes around the corner and he puts DWP in a position to try and catch them. Hazard standing on default, but Yam's peeking. And he spots Mo slowly coming around the corner. The gun barrel gives him away, and Azur's got DD as well. It's all down to attacker. Good position, gets above. There's no idea that he's there, so he's able to pick up at least 1 kill, but fails the jump out toward quad, and now he can't surprise Yam, who hits the great shot up close.
Yam delivering the goods when it's needed. 1 versus 1 situation, very close range of that orb, and that breaks TyLoo once again. Himself and Azza having a fantastic game here. Azza's now on 18 kills. I'm not far behind, but still, all the clutches seem to be going in their favor, and TyLoo, it was a 4-4 game, and it's slipping away from them slightly now as Renegades coming to life in all these clutches, finding his first picks as well, with Sponge running through middle, got the opening kill on towards somebody. Fancy one did reply, but ultimately this was the play. Now once again, 5 players sticking together. They always keep it simple, but making sure they're as efficient as possible in their execution to get the captain ready to get the first kill. See if he's actually taking 2 down. He still a reply, so does Azza. Inside, surely taken care of now. Oh my god!
That is an insane shot from DD. This round is not even close to done. You still have the great shot in return, but it's still the 1-on-1. Bomb not planted. Now Fancy's not able to pick up a weapon from here because all the guns are dropped in the site, and that might just be enough to give you still the round. If you'd had one in that situation, could have been a different situation on the peak altogether, but it's 9-4 now for Renegades.
Another clutch. Another Renegades round.
Keeping that economy honest, though, aren't they?
2 rounds to go. Number 14, TyLoo, back on the orb. 1 kit between them. That's going to be on attacker. Captain there back from the AWP. Let's see what he can do here. He'll be going towards the B store this time. Presumably facing in. They probably want to find his first pick and have something to work with here. The fast boost comes in. Yam being great towards this position. Molotov looked like he missed there. I'm not sure. Let's see what happens.
Over face.
Yeah, DD takes a chance and takes him down.
Now DD's going to sit back in that smoke, flash himself over. Now the problem is with DD in behind the sandbags, I don't think he spotted that Sponge got toward these vents. So I don't think he has this information. The DreamHack reward. Dragon more flash in. Smoke lets you still get far inside the site. They can't pre-aim the angle, and he's already around the corner. Fancy's gone. Molotov's going to go up into heaven. Flash toward DD, and again is going to try and push in. Catch them off guard early. Bomb's not yet planted. It's going down at default right now, and Ustilla's found him. So big round for Ustilla with 3 kills.
Yeah, he's looking pretty sharp right now. But he said he hasn't had the best series, but when they needed him delivered, he can definitely step up. Great entries from him in this one. Number 14. It's going to be somebody coming from B storage now. Number 3 on 2. This next skill will be very important. Sponge, very intelligent player, facing at the right time. Does take him down and give them number 10 as well. So that's going to be detrimental for TyLoo going into the last one. You can see they don't really have much money. It could be maximum loss bonus, in fact, but it was a 4-4 game now, I believe. So this is spiraling out of control for TyLoo. This actually could be less competitive than we thought. We actually, I can quote her saying, well, here we go then, actual game on our hands.
Yeah,
that's
well,
slipping
I
away.
said that as soon as it changed, so obviously I ruined it.
Yes, obviously.
It's my fault.
But to be fair, Ustilla, he's had some great rounds. It's just the clutches. It's not so much the game has been bad. It's the one-on-one clutches going in favor of Renegades every single time.
Even on Cobblestone to some extent, despite that one was a little bit more convincing and there was some blowout rounds. Not only that, some of the frags, the impact frags were quite predictable from Renegades, but there was a lot of clutches in that as well. So, I mean, it's been a decent contest, and this one, certainly no shortage of affair because it's going to be another trade situation that leaves us to a 3 versus 3 late. Problem is, again, though, Renegades are inside of the site with a bomb going down.
There we go then, the clutch is on. No kits available for the CTs, but have got presence towards the upper platform. 2 players there, and attacker waiting towards CT spawn. There's having one utility now to work with. There's still Molotovs available for the terrorists as well. Sponge listening in, and both frags coming in from Yam and Azza. Just going to be somebody remaining. He's going towards the bomb site, not going to be enough. Azza, another 3K for him in round number 15. 11-4 will be the first half score.
So we had 13-2. 12-3, 11-4.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts.
And this one, you're right. I mean, the scoreline doesn't really dictate how close the game actually has been in a lot of ways.
Yeah, there's been tons of clutches. Been unreal. It's 22 frags after that first half, 15 rounds for Azza. Yeah, I'm on 13, although he didn't get the most frags. It's actually him who got some very influential opening frags, and he's still out, like I said, a player we don't talk about that often.
We talked about him in this game. He's definitely had his moments.
I mean, generally speaking, we don't speak about that often.
True.
Yeah, TyLoo. Difficult first half for them. Definitely not over yet. The team chasing always seems to win the pistol in the second half. That's the defeated matchup. Mo, 9 kills. Yama, 13. Considerably more deaths for him as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty notable stat. I mean, considering the scoreline, not all too surprising. Azzer, though, leading the way again. So first map, undoubtedly the MVP. And in this one, undoubtedly the MVP.
Yeah, it works in both senses. Second half going in now. Let's have a look at the buy for TyLoo. They will be on the terrorist side now, of course. I'd say need this pistol. If it was to slip away from them, it's going to be very difficult for them going forward. 4 sets of armor, no raid boss. And it's fancy one with the smoke and HE combo. So maybe the 4 players towards Squeaky Door. Yeah, it actually is. Okay. So they'll do a smoke towards the highway, but there's going to be 2 CTs waiting for them. Sponge to the face first. He gets absolutely wrecked by Attacker. Surely his teammate going to be dropped as well. There it is. And this should be a round over at this point. The CT's coming in for the retake. It's going to be very difficult for them to get back onto the side.
It is Azzer that leads the way. Spots one already at quad. He's forced to cross over, though, and that leaves him very exposed from forklift. He's getting audacious here. He's getting bold to get inside the site. He may actually catch off Attacker. Good shot, good read. Somebody's got back into Ustillo, and DD takes down JKS, though, and that means he's now the last alive. 1 versus 3. They know exactly where he is. And TyLoo, great start to this half. Poor place, wrong time, really, inside that Squeaky Door with 4 players coming around the door.
Yeah, it was a decent approach from Renegades. They did anticipate something like that. The idea with that Squeaky Door push is, if you do push it and you have confrontation there, you're going to have 2 players, and you normally can get a refrag or an equal situation. If you don't find anything there whatsoever, you can actually push behind towards these doors to give some good information. We saw yesterday, I can't remember what game it was, but it that 3-man boost that was on towards middle there, and he got like the triple spray down with the USP. Stuff like that.
Yep.
It's 11-5 now.
Sponges in middle with a nade ready to throw at drop if anyone shows. DD's gone for the mid boost inside of the red crate in the garage too, so that they can't push through. I hate that animation, that one-handed animation. I get what they're trying to achieve with it, but it can be very confusing to look at when you're playing against it. As they're playing close to that door, so that if it were to open, he can swing quickly and try and get a headshot, on this case, into Fancy.
TyLoo being very careful there. They have got 1 recon player, and this is quite nice. You can see Renegades, as soon as that door opens, they're going to send the grenades in. Here they come. Oh, don't get the kill, they do a ton of damage.
Massive damage. He still is on 40 as well on the Renegade side, but you're right, Fancy. 25, loses 75 health points on that alone.
He's the player with the max 10 though, so he's causing a distraction towards A, and to be fair, he might have done a lot of damage, but he's done his job. He's kept them all on that side of the map. There is a CT towards the back though. Hello!
Oh, nice try, Yam. Nice try, Yam. That was actually kind of clever.
My question is, I don't think he had a kid, did he? That would be quite clever.
It could have been great, right? Could you imagine we see another Ninja Diffuse this year? We've had Snacks, we've had Kirby. Could have had Yam.
I think the next major, that's what we'll have on.
You think so? Is that a prediction?
Yeah. One of those crazy
ESL
ones.
Cologne Ninja Diffuse coming in.
From the Ninjas in Pajamas.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, it's in their name. I get it.
Yep.
Well, we'll see. We shall see.
I'll get that before they win the major.
before that you're predicting they're going to win the major as well.
Yes. Got a problem with that?
Nope. You're allowed. You're entitled to predict as you want. It's not actually a bad prediction the way form's been going as of late. I predict Astralis. Because at this point, all the hype's gone. Everyone thinks
that's
it's
the
over.
logic you've gone on.
Everyone thinks it's over. They're going to do it.
The hype's gone now,
everyone.
so that's a good reason for them to win. Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, Easterday does manage to pick up a Mac 10.
I like how you were waiting for my reasoning.
Yeah. See where he's going with this one. Oh, it's TyLoo. Very simple round here. Like I said, they will get the pistol. They should get the 3-0 here as well. Pretty simple frags. Yam does get one onto Fancy One, but surely they'll be running into all of these players here. They do, but TD takes them all down. 11-7. And this is where things get interesting now. Renegades have a chance to get the AWP up, of course. Like I said, Sponge, quite an intelligent player. He doesn't really fall into the trap of force buying that second round. He always allows his players to have grenades and AWPs, and there is a kid on Sponge as well. So making sure they actually have the economy to play with. And it's something that relaxes me when I watch these guys play. One of the few teams that actually play properly in that respect.
Yeah, you're very adamant about that. You still and Az are going to head over toward the A site. They do try and put Sponge out toward middle early. He'll watch from the bottom of Highway. No, it's not the boost. It looked like a boost toward Vents on the minimap. It's not. It is two players on that B site, though. They're going to play Yam in the corner with AWP, so a fast face for him to be countered with a re-peek from JKS on the rifle if they try to push him. But right now it's just a very standard set. In fact, two players out for smokes right now, looking for a default onto A potentially. Actually, they're sitting way back. They can actually look for the counter boost right now.
I think they're just holding up for any sort of push coming from the CTs at this stage. You can see Yam with the AWP. It's not gone super aggressive, but it's not showing or giving anything away right now. Might be going for the boost towards middle. That's what Sponge will be watching, but it's Yam with that first pick. He takes down somebody.
Two up, rifles, angles held. Sponge checks the garage itself, but not the boost, and that means they are over. I'm not sure he's figured just yet. He now knows that they have put a Molotov off towards Sandbag. Smart for him to actually just put that. There's not much he could have done with his in that situation because he would have had to face wide just to get it to Cubby. So he puts it in the vents instead, which delays them and means that they can't themselves go that direction. So it gives them a bit of time. They're not reacting to that by rotating onto B. Sponge hasn't made that call yet, so they're still putting pressure on JKS inside of the site. And he knows they're in here. He knows that they're pushed up onto headshot position as well. Finds the first good flash in from his teammate from Heaven. That gives him a chance, but he only finds two out of it. And Captain Mo goes immediately back into him. Yam up close though, drops the bomb. That's not getting planted now. And it's all Renegades round.
Lovely stuff there. JKS holding strong, always anchoring towards those solo positions, and gets 2 kills, and they funnel TyLoo into that B site after Yam found that first pick. It's going to be 12-7 now. Still tons of cash for TyLoo available, so they can get the AWP and AKs back out. Somebody going to be on the Tech 9 though, so this is the chance for Renegades to get themselves a step closer to championship points. Haven't said that one in a while.
Well, it's only once a tournament.
Exactly, we don't really.
True, you're true. I get where you're going with that. Yam's going to slow face, but still is able to take down Mo. Nearly gets scoped in time to find more. He had 3 to choose from, but now it's JKS's turn to pick from the litter. Unfortunately, the litter's too large, and he goes down with only 1 kill to his credit. It's 3 plays on to 3. Those new vents are nice and pretty. They're so open, and that light inside the tunnel is much brighter now.
Yes.
Bomb goes down on default for TyLoo. And 1 gun round to Renegades. This could be a reset. Put TyLoo potentially onto a score somewhat of that, about 12-9. Double Molotov in the side, trying to clear the angle, but attacker's still playing close up, sprays down, holds it together, and he gets both. It's all down to just Ustillo when he drops in Heaven.
12-8. And what's that aggression from the CTs towards the B storage? Yam looking at that first pick, gets it as well, but the reply comes in from TyLoo, just working very effectively as a unit there, refragging as they went. An attacker, they just spray down as the retake came in. It's going to be DD now on 22 kills. I think that's a pretty hard reset for the CTs. There's the initial frags. Like I said, that aggression going to be storage, unless you're finding those first kills. And the idea is your secondary CT player has to spray down as you're falling back. Didn't really work out that way. Run number 21, USPs and a PT50.
Push in from somebody. The UMP manages to spot up Yam on his way through as well. We spoke about close this out quite quickly and convincingly against Stillo. Does so. We spoke about the mouse sensitivity. It's actually, apparently, from what I'm told, acceleration that these TyLoo guys play with.
Yeah, it's...
I haven't had that officially confirmed, but that's what someone hinted to me.
Someone hinted. That sounds official.
Not that somebody, someone. My point is I can't verify it from the horse's mouth, Henry, so I won't mislead, but I did hear that that's what they're using.
Fair enough. I'd say it's a very low percentage of people still use it. I'd say like maybe less than 5, but still, if they do, very interesting stat nonetheless.
I don't know if it's all of them either. That's the other aspect of that, but push from Renegades. This.
Oh, God.
All right, that just totally wrecks them considering their plan. I was about to say it could do decent damage here with this boost. Oh, I like this. They're both just jumping. That's a bit unorganized because they already spotted it. So Captain Mo spots it, and then they rotate back. It's Attacker to take down 2. He goes low on HP, and actually Azur's able to pick up 2 of his own with the Scout. Another tag as well inside of the garage. He's got a chance here to do some decent damage. Attacker's on 1 HP, but they're going to get him through the smoke. Fancy holds it with the AK.
Yeah, they do manage to do a little bit of damage to the money of the terrorists, but TyLoo now tying things up. They get double figures, 12-10. And it's getting closer and closer. Round number 23. Yam back on the orb. He's the one that's finding those opening kills. Let's see if he can find it again. There's Mo back on the orb himself. He's actually been pretty quiet, I have to say. It's DD who's been the MVP. We'll be heading towards B storage once again. 2 players, make it 4 now. Maybe just going for another simple B play there. Contact with the flanks. There it is. Getting the B-bomb site.
Good shot from Mo. AKS playing headshot, trying to go for the quick peeks, the quick crouch. He still has found Fancy in the same time, but Attacker with the refrag does give them the sight to work with. And not only that, despite watching a lot of Renegades' perspective in this, they've actually lost more members, so an advantage, but Azur takes down Mo as soon as he gets to the corner. So that now is gone. And there's a chance for Renegades to go for the retake, but if TyLoo can pull this off, we're looking at a 1-point game. It's still not great money for Renegades. And DD gets aggressive, tries to jump up. It's Attacker with that distraction to get the kill, but it's 12 HP. Ustillo, and a nice play from Attacker. Reads it well and just gets it in a prime position.
Very close towards the end there was TyLoo going in with that simple play. 4 players towards the B storage area. Contact play basically meaning as soon as they're spotted by the CTs, or as soon as they get a kill, they're going to burst in and swarm the site. There's AWP of Captain Mo to open things up. He took down Yam, in fact, and then swarming JKS, he couldn't really do too much. They do get equal exchanges up to this point. Azur giving Renegades a lifeline. Just 12 HP on the last player, though, couldn't really finish it off. It's 12-11 now, and another recap for the CTs, and it's going to be somebody to open things up, taking out Sponge. And now they're going to be taking over towards middle. It's actually a pretty heavy stack towards the B sites, so CTs now decide how we get back into this.
Captain Mo shots out. Oh, well done. He actually gets the damage onto Ustillo and gets the assist for DD's kill. As he does have the AK. JKS is going to try and get back into this fight with basically an insufficient weapon when all things are considered against the AKs, but Azur makes it work with the CZ. Spots up behind that corner as well. And now that he's picked up an AK, he's actually done the damage, but it's 12-12. And a timeout called immediately, and then this is going to be Renegades tactical.
Yes, you almost certainly. Let's have a look at the money for Renegades. They've got more than enough to buy. They could go. I think this is the double orb time. It's mixed things up. It's getting a bit scary for them now. It's a few rounds in a row for TyLoo. They're finding the first picks almost every single time. This thing with the Asian teams, they don't really go for those crazy set pieces we normally see from a lot of the Western sides, like who do defaults and then go in with the wall of smokes or anything like that. They just work on simple plays. We'll go towards B, try and work a pick, then we'll burst into the bomb site. Run a default, choose a side, run in. It's always quite basic, but they are very skilled. So, okay, now, like I said, the new coach trying to come up with something. But I would say, if I was the coach right now, Matt, get the double orbs up, boys. Let's try and go for that first pick, then fall back. Yam's more than capable.
Yep, I would agree.
Maybe go towards A storage if he gets to spawn.
A storage, and then the second one either mid or A or B main. Where would you prefer in this case? Because there's a lot of mid pressure.
I'd prefer one player towards B, which would be the AWPer.
So you'd put it up on the wings and then rotate the riflers.
Yes, exactly. Have one M4 backing up towards A.
We'll see what they come up with. Sponge just seems to be the vocal one this time. Obviously saw last map that PK was quite vocal, but
for anyone wondering, Matt made the point earlier, Sponge is sat on the left-hand side, not in the middle, just because the air conditioning unit is there and Yam was feeling a little bit under the weather. Didn't want to get more ill from the cold air, so that's fair enough. There's no politics going on, don't worry.
Maybe it'll become a superstitious thing where if they win this tournament, they're going to go, hey, maybe we should sit like that all the time.
Yeah, could do.
Not all in-game leaders do sit in the middle, in fact. There's been...
Yeah.
I mean, Taz doesn't often sit in the middle sometimes.
Well, that's because they change in-game leader pretty much every tournament.
True. But even sometimes when he is in-game leading, he doesn't sit there. There's certain situations where players want to sit. For example, Astralis sits usually with Dupree and Device side by side so that they can see off each other's monitors and play off each other in the site. So sometimes you see an in-game leader beside someone else.
You play on the sites almost every single time, and it doesn't really work out you being in the middle, so something like that. Then it can be, but traditionally the caller will be in the middle. He can see as many screens as he possibly can.
JKS plays with his monitor all the way down. I've never noticed that before. It's not. I was thinking it might be because his chair's lower. It's not. He's just apparently enjoys it. Sometimes it's interesting to note their setups. No one on Renegades actually sits that close to their monitor either. It's not like Bondic where their eyes are like glued to it.
Yeah. Well, it's actually just a single AWP setup here, Matt. I was surprised at that. I was almost certain it'd be a double AWP, but here we go, 12-12. Let's see if they do adapt at all. Maybe they change something up. Problem is, for TyLoo, now they get the pause time as well. They know that the Renegades will be adapting. They can just do something a little bit crazy themselves. As we're going to round number 25, we really have got a competitive game here. Remember, it was 11-4 at half.
It's true. So a very good half from TyLoo and a rather lackluster one from Renegades. Having lost the pistol, Sponge needs to be careful not to look away. Was expecting the flash, so that's what he did, but it's Yam that got the first shot. Bombs dropped inside the middle, but a good refrag from somebody. That'll allow them to re-grab it very quickly. And that's pivotal in this situation because now it's a 3 versus 3 and they can still start to dictate things and trades favor the offense, but if they had a lost bomb, it certainly would not have.
Problem is as well, the CTs haven't really got much to work with here. There's been no solid reactions. You can see one player towards middle, one towards this boost spot right now, which is Ustillo, which isn't the most fantastic spot in this kind of situation. You've got no one to bait you in. And one towards B, so they are up against it now. Potentially a 1-on-3 situation. So they go towards A. Ustillo needs to guarantee himself at least one frag. See if he can give his team a chance here in a very important round. Now he has got some backup from CD Sport, and that's actually pretty good. You can see Ustillo will have an opportunity here as the aggro has been taken away, but Captain Mo could find his kill. You can hear the tension in the room building, but they will be coming out towards Highway as well, and they're going to take down Ustillo surely.
He's count one, he has to fall away, gets caught on the light momentarily. It nearly gave him a chance to get the shot. Inside the door he'll go. Yep, hide away.
Doesn't want to give his kill away. It's so important here, considering that kind of situation. And now it's just going to be Captain Mo, 20 seconds remaining, but he's had some decent movement here.
Oh.
Did he hit the shot? I think he did.
I think, yeah, Azure went down to 25, so it might have just clipped the edge of the catwalk.
Yeah.
Because it looked like it was dead on, but Azure with a little bit of luck, doesn't matter, they're able to pop out and swarm him immediately after that information's gathered. And there it is, Azure 30 bombed.
30 bomb.
26 rounds in, I guess, nothing super uncommon about that, but it was the start that he had that was the impressive part.
Sure. Well, then round number 26. See, he's going to be incredibly careful. Obviously, we always talk about that reset potential that is now gone. They've lost a ton of rounds here on the CT side. They lost as well. Not going to be amazing going forward, but round number 26, Sponge in the vents. And actually, we have a fast B play coming in. TyLoo get the first 2 kills as well. That's the B side open. And all of a sudden, Yam coming to life. He gets taken down as well. 3-on-2. He's going to be coming in towards the checkers area now, and it's an equal situation.
Good play from Fancy. They knew he was locked in there. They knew Yam was limited. Molotov went out on one side, and Fancy just sat and waited for him to walk back in. It's Ustillo that has to clutch this. And Renegades just won a round, but a reset is a possibility. Gets one through the smoke. Somebody can't find the angle, and Ustillo tries to change it. But he's going to win the duel back to 13-13, and money starts to favor Renegades, or excuse me, rather TyLoo again in this situation because they had a massive bank built.
Going back towards that simple B play. It's TyLoo. And you can see they actually have reset the cache of Renegades as well, so now they need to decide what they're going to do with this going forward. It was Yam coming in from the vents who got them those initial frags. But the 1-1-1 situation, that's what let them down. So Renegades going to be sticking with 5 USPs. It's a bit of a pill to swallow, but just when they get this round out of the way, they'll be stacking 3 players towards B, 2 on A. Presumably just holding up in crossfires and seeing what they can do here. A little bit of a face towards A storage, but he still gets dropped.
Good shot from Mo. You can see somebody was waiting way back toward the sign, and T-Spawn actually got one of those kills that Didi, we spawned it from his screen. Should have had either way, but it was just going to show that they were prepared for the pistols, that they were prepared for Renegades to be a little bit unorthodox in the fact that they wouldn't have guns, but now they will be back out with rifles, and it's do or die. This is must win.
Indeed. TyLoo now getting a touching distance after an 11-4 first half. Renegades are starting to slide away from this one. We'll have the AWP on towards Yam. He's going towards B. Decent spawn from him as well. Can go for that initial phase. The problem is no one's going to be there. This could be a fast play. There's going to be 3 players looking out. There'll be boost up towards middle. Sponge trying to defend them off with the FAMAS in hand. Azza finds one, but Sponge taken down. And now it's going to be mid-control granted towards the terrorists.
Yam just waiting for something to work in his favor. Has the angle held. Needs to be careful, though. Somebody's waiting. And this is an interesting position for him to be, and he doesn't hit the shot yet, but it's a shuffle out from JKS. Oh, thankfully he hits it on the follow-up because they've lost him already. JKS goes down, and Yam gets caught going through the vents. He was on 13 HP to begin with, and now it's Azza and Ustillo having to clutch this out.
That's a really weird play for the CTs. Once they've lost mid-control as well, they're committing to that B storage area. They probably need to be turning up on the site, having the AWP on the bomb site itself. And now looking at Renegades probably have to save this. They don't have a kit. Azza's very low indeed. They are going to be falling back, and as I said, once you've lost middle like that, you can't really be affording to committing so heavily towards the B storage. Obviously getting a frag and then falling back would be outstanding, but the terrorists are always going to react once they've got the call that you've pushed that deep into that area. They're not going to let you get away with it.
Well, it will be map and championship point for TyLoo.
Who would have thought?
On that alone, after the first map, I don't think very many people would have thought at all, Henry.
After the first half we saw, I didn't think they were getting back into this whatsoever, but he's got the pistol and they've just been grinding it out round by round. And they've got championship points, as you said, 15-13. The money's going to be pretty low. As Ustillo saving their weapons. Let's see if they actually manage to beat them. They're shooting. I don't know if we...
Nah, there was no one close enough. They're just, I assume, spamming wallable positions or pre-firing.
Are you sure? I don't see any M4s.
You might be right. That's a rebuy for Azza.
Yeah, they lost them.
Really? I could have sworn the minimap there was nowhere near him. So interesting. My mistake. Impressive. That makes things even worse.
Yeah, it's potentially the last round here, guys. Oh, there are 2 M4s. Okay, this could be interesting. Maybe they were dropping them when they're just at the start.
Yeah,
we don't
maybe.
Even know.
I think that makes more sense, because on the minimap, I didn't see anyone even close to the positions.
I have no idea. Anyway. Still potentially the last round here. 4 rifles, 2 of them M4s, 2 of them FAMASes at a CZ on Sponge. To be that simple B play once again from TyLoo. Waiting for the smoke to dissipate. Now hold it. It's actually all 5 players committed. And this is the problem now. Renegades haven't pushed for any information. They don't really know what's going on. As soon as that smoke goes down, you can assume this is when TyLoo will make their move. 1 round will do it.
Somebody just waiting at the corner for that smoke to fade. Renegades with very little to work with in terms of weaponry and equipment. Have to find a way to win this. Hazard has the first face. He's had a phenomenal series, but it may not be enough. Rotate back. In fact, TyLoo's going to fake this off and go for the boost. It does leave Attacker as the only one over toward this site. So he has to be the full salesman here. The bomb's going to wait in the vents until his teammates can get back toward mid as well, because it can't afford to walk out and get caught.
Yeah, they boosted up towards the vents here, so actually I haven't committed to anything just yet. They're trying to confuse the CTs a little bit. They've currently got 3 people in towards that B site and 1 in spawn as well, so it's isolating Ustillo towards that A side. Let's see what he can do with this one, but it's still 25 seconds. The next move will be the last, and here we go, walking into the B.
Azza's going to hold the angle, the smoke gap, almost gets 2. A dink onto the second player, that's Dady that walks into the site, but it's somebody to follow up on JKS, and the frags, they're adding up. TyLoo, they just need 2 more. There is still a low HP player onto DD. Bomb,
5
it's
seconds.
not planted just yet. They may get away with this. In fact, it's 4 seconds. I don't think it got there in time. They're going to go find out the hard way, and they're committed to it. Even if it hadn't gone down, which it does, they would have been dead for luck. And TyLoo, they're going to take this. What a comeback in the series. 16-13, 11-4 at halftime on this map.
Congratulations to TyLoo. What a comeback that was. Going down 11-4 in the first half and then able to bounce back, having the mental fortitude to grind out those rounds. I can hear the CO2 cannons going off there. They will be the minor champions here. It's got to be gutting for the Renegades. Crushing defeat there after doing so well on the first half. 11-4. It looked like all bets were off. They were going to take this one. A really great series and a good map to finish it off now. We had some disappointing ones to kick it off, but Cash more than made up for, I would say. You can see the look on their faces. That meant everything for them. Azur as well. One of the best series I've ever seen him play.
There you go, your champions, TyLoo. Worthy victory, a fight back in the series. They lost to best of 3 to Renegades in the upper bracket final of the final 4 teams to put them into the lower bracket, but very solid performance. And a convincing, I mean, this was important for them to win this after how well they did in Malmo, to really prove that they could be consistently a contending team, not just a one-off affair where they knocked out the reigning world champions, but also that they are capable of doing it time and time again.
Well, there it is. It's been a great week here in South Korea, Seoul, and it's going to be one of the Asian teams taking the trophy home there, TyLoo. We did have Mongols as the champions the first time we did this. They were knocked out earlier in the tournament, and now it's TyLoo after a great run in Europe the last few months and taking down some world champions. Now they are going to be going towards that major qualifier. Obviously, they already have done that, and Renegades are going to be there as well. But this is them taking the lion's share of the $50,000 and just kind of getting themselves a better placement in terms of the seeding for the tournament itself. And here comes the final frag chart. We have got Azur on 32 kills. Great tournament for him. Like I see, you saw the look on his face. He looked so gutted at that. He knew he played his heart out. He didn't deserve to be on the losing side there. And the rest of the guys, DD, great series from him, 30 kills. Somebody on 22, Phantom on 15, Attacker 19. Just a great second half there from TyLoo. After losing 11-4, you thought that would be it. Wouldn't be enough, at least overtime for Renegades, but somehow got to 12-11, and then at that point, the simple play from TyLoo was enough, and here comes the big checks, $30,000. And some flowers as well. You've got to have flowers, man.
You never buy me flowers.
Oh. It's going to be DD. This is your MVP here. 30 kills for him. Fantastic series. 30 kills, 20 deaths, 1 assist, 15 headshots. And kill to death ratio 1.51. First kill once. Well, man, what can he say about that one?
It's, I mean, hats off to them. It was a good series. It was well fought. I think they a few things that were proved. First and foremost, that their cobblestone is beatable.
Yes.
But that they also have a diversified map pool that goes a little deeper than we expected. Even without Inferno, which was the map they did beat Luminosity on as well.
True.
They were still able to win this tournament. Now, we did not see Nuke against them or anything along those lines, but still, I mean, this is pretty good stuff from TyLoo and a very important win. Renegades as well, I think, proved a lot by getting into the qualifier again. That's a monkey off their back. But
I think they wanted to prove more than that.
Exactly.
They wanted to win this tournament. This is something for them to show they are back, and this team can actually compete at the sort of levels they were in 2015.
Well, that said, we send it back over to the analysts for the final time. Closing thoughts from James, Natu, and Thorin.
Thank you very much, guys. A much closer map on this last one on Cash, but to begin with, it started off really close, 4-4, but then we saw like Renegades running away with it up until 11-4. You can see the disappointment on their faces there, right? You can see how upset they are. Yeah, like, so run us through that first half specifically, because to go from 4-4 to 11-4 and then
I mean, this is actually what I kind of suggested when we came into this map. I said, like, from the first 2 maps, I hope this isn't like yesterday where it's just like CT clutch rounds only win you the game. I want to see both these T sides that I won the first 2 maps just go head to head, and that's what you saw in this particular game. Because Renegades, awesome first half. Like, one of the things that I thought they did really, really well was the way they used Yam on the boost spot. Yeah. And all he did is he didn't go for some like crazy 1v1 duel with another AWP, but he just like held those 2 spots, like over at the short part and then over at the vent, and he was able to just get kills again and again. It just felt like they started every round so great.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird how
Yeah,
We have
I think someone's setting off those
confetti
cannons
everywhere.
Again. I don't know if you can hear that.
To continue on that point, I felt like the CTs kind of gave away a little bit too much for Yam. Too many free kills. Especially,
just kept peeking the same spots, right?
Mo came coming out of the Z hall, trying to re-peek after they lost the first guy. So, I mean, it was kind of uncharacteristic from TyLoo, considering how passive they usually are, making these kind of errors to give Renegades the opportunities.
And obviously, Azza was unreal again.
Yeah.
T-side, I mean, admittedly, on CT side, he didn't get a lot done. I can't blame him. He was playing in the other side most of the time, so he was in hell right there. He was trying to rotate over, and you can't be rotating in. Like, this is the key point we made very early in this tournament when we saw the team Monster play on Cash, and they were so poor in the B site. Actually, because they would give up the B site. And you saw, this is one of the hardest sites in the game to retake, because you're usually coming in through a smoke. Usually, the T's know exactly where you're coming from. You come from those two spots, lower and upper. They're just waiting. They've got the crossfire set up. And unfortunately, the way this whole game turned is, people who are like Renegades fans will watch and go like, oh, they were unlucky. Oh, they were so unfair. No, what happened was, early in the second half, the guys from TyLoo, they tried going A early on. You saw that. It was a bunch of times. And that was like very touch and go. Like those were the ones that were really hard to hold. And then once they figured out that B was open, they went there almost every time. The only times they didn't go is because you can't literally go to us like 10 times in a row, because then the CTs literally will stack 4 people there. The only time they went A was just to keep Renegades honest, and it worked. And as a result, the odd time that they went A, Renegades couldn't just gamble all their best players over to B. And so unfortunately, yeah, that was like the deciding thing for me, because I saw as the score was getting up like 11, 12 rounds, I saw like at the moment there's no answer from Renegades on this B side. Think of the one big round that they won as CT was that miracle flashbang that got everyone from TyLoo
MVP flashbang, yeah.
That was a crazy round, but unfortunately, if that's the one time you held, basically, you're not going to get that each time. Like it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, what I want to see in that situation is them to just send 3 people middle, one in the vent, one playing
They never
sandbags.
controlled it, right? He's just sponge on his own.
Yeah, exactly. So he has he can help middle. He can have fast rotation towards B. The player in B can pop flash into the B main, so he can jump out of the vent and try to maybe get some couple of sneaky kills, and then be the second guy into B. So that's a kind of a adaptation they needed to make that they really never did.
Yeah,
no, I mean
to adapt.
One of the reasons why it was so hard though is because towards the end of the game they started doing something like along those lines, desperation plays, pushing a couple of people mid. Like they would never push them all the way up. That's the problem. Okay, they would send Sponge to the vent, but the other guy would just play from Z. And the big problem is, if you notice, the guy who was the real MVP, bearing in mind Azza lost the series, was DD. The 2 maps that they had where they won on T-Sign, this DD guy was unreal. On that map there especially, if you boost him up to the top of there, he just headshots the first person. Like, it's not even like he has to take a duel, he just headshots them instantly. So unfortunately, if you're Renegades, I can see why it's frustrating, because you're thinking like, oh, I should get a fair fight here, and it felt like he just like insta-killed you every time. And so they tried to adapt. They did it too late, though. That was the thing. It was already about 12 or 11 rounds for TyLoo by the time they started doing that adaptation. Before that, they just left mid-open ever all day long.
It was great timing for DD to turn up as well. We mentioned him just before as the player that we hadn't really seen yet in this tournament. Right?
Last time I saw DD wreck someone's plans like that, it was an episode Dexter's Lab in the 90s on Cartoon Network.
What did she do?
It was the sister of a guy called Dexter.
No, I know who
Lab.
she is. What did she do to wreck people's lives?
In each episode?
In the episode,
I mean, there's a lot of episodes to go through. She used to like sometimes kick machines and stuff, and then like accidentally pull like the auto-destruct thing. So in this one, in many ways though, I think you have to say for the series, the DD guy was the MVP. Before that, that's what's so weird. I've been mentioning this all the time. TyLoo's been so deep in terms of talent. I mean, actually, I thought in this, what's crazy is, over this series, Fancy One is the player who was so hyped on this team. He has been so quiet this whole tournament long, and they've won the tournament. What's funny is in the series overall, on the last 2 maps, it was like DD, and then Attacker had some rounds. You never really saw their like one standout player, and so it just makes me think that TyLoo's real deep right now.
Okay, we are going to go to a quick interview. I'm not sure who it's with, but I'm hoping Sadakist has maybe 5 translators. Let's see.
All right, guys, we're here with TyLoo, obviously the champions of the tournament. My name's Sadakist. We're going to ask a few quick questions with the champions, obviously. The first one that I want to bring up is, first off, how important it is to win this tournament, how they feel about it, because they had a lot of pressure on them after being so successful in Sweden. Did they feel like they had to win here?
이번 토너먼트에서 우승하게 된 많은 압박감이 있었는데 그 압박감을 극복하고서도 이겼는데 거기에 대한 소감이 어땠는지 물어봅니다.
这次比赛你们不是赢的就是比较难嘛，对决还是比较有压力的。然后这么艰难的赢下这个比赛的感想？
这次比赛赢得非常不容易，然后尤其是决赛打他们，我觉得这样就是压力非常的大。然后，但我们在打起来的同时，然后就一直在互相的鼓励，就是说不要放弃，不要放弃。
일단 이게 결승전에 특히 결승전에 들어가서 스트레스 많이 받았대요. 그리고 이게 서로 시작하고 나서 서로 포기하지 않고 이렇게 계속 서로 컨트롤을 해갖고 이렇게 이겨왔습니다.
Actually, we were under the pressure because it is grand final. But even though it is really stressful, we just try to be like fast. We just try to be like good communication. That is how to win like this competition.
Okay, perfect. And the second question I want to know is obviously they've got a lot of busy things coming up now that they're in the qualifier, they're in E-League. What did they learn from this weekend with more experience? I mean, particular, their cobblestone used to look unbeatable, but here they got absolutely crushed on in this final. So did they learn anything about their team and perhaps the more experienced teams have things against them that they need to fix?
지금 이번 컴피티션을 통해서 이제 그 많은 이제 연습을 했을 텐데 그걸 통해서 이제 주말에나 연습을 하면서 어떤 걸 많이 배웠고 그리고 어떤 걸 이제 많이 느꼈는지 물어보네요.
问你们通过这次比赛就是学到了什么？
我觉得要这次比赛，然后我们学到的东西挺多的。然后我觉得要我们回去要加强的就是训练，然后。 就是争取下一次有更好的突破。
여기 와서 이번 주에서 많이 배웠다고 하는데요. 그래서 다시 중국에서 가면은 더 연습을 많이 하고 다음 대회 했을 때 더 좋은 성적 낼 수 있도록 하겠다고 합니다.
We learned many things from this competition. So when we go back to China, we practice a lot because we have to something to cover with our like risky thing. That's why that is how to prepare the next competition. That is what we'll do.
And that was actually my next question, so that's perfect because they do have a busy schedule coming up. E-League, now the ESL Cologne qualifier. But ladies and gentlemen, TyLoo, your champions from the PGL and Kespa Minor. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
So there we have it. Obviously very happy. They're saying there that they're going to need to practice. Do you think now that because they've won this and because they're going to be playing it on a world stage now that they're going to have to adapt more eyes are going to be on them now? As you said earlier, not many people have... A lot of the advantages TyLoo had was because not a lot of people knew how they played, and now all the eyes are going to be on them. Are they going to have a harder road?
It's always the case.
Yeah, they will, but that's the thing. That happens to every good team. For example, that happens to teams that are known European teams who then they get a little bit better and suddenly they rise the ranks to the top 5 stars. Then everyone's watching you. The key thing for me is they do have the surprise factors gone. Now people know roughly how they play, but the great thing about really good T-side teams is it's all about execution. So if you're good and you're good on T-side, just because someone knows what you're going to do doesn't mean they can stop it. So adapting is one thing, like scouting out what they do, but then you're also, as we've seen from TyLoo, you're going to have to be a really good team to stop them as well. So it's not like everyone's just going to scout them and they're going to be done. It's what the question is, as they go forwards, can they evolve to then be able to beat the top European teams? Because those are the teams that when they then scout them, they'll have the tools to actually shut them down.
Yeah, climbing the mountain is one thing, but just maintaining that position is just that much harder. Like you said, it's just a matter of them now being showcased what they can do. Everyone's going to be reading on them. But as well, what Duncan said, it's a fact that it's one thing to be studying a team, but it's another to be actually playing against them. That's I feel like Renegades may have felt that as well. I mean, as we progressed, the games became much closer between the two. The first one was, I thought Renegades was really lost, and they theoretically felt like they knew what to do. But in actual gameplay, it was just a totally different ball game. So definitely, because the teams don't get to play against TyLoo consistently, even though we get to see them, still there's going to be a little bit of this surprise factor that they can really benefit from.
And how about Renegades now? They're obviously going to be on a downer from this, but they have got through to the qualifier, as we've said.
Sure.
They're going to have to pick themselves back up. What can they take? What can they learn from this performance where they feel, I'm sure they feel like they should have won?
I mean, they shouldn't, because obviously they couldn't hold the sights on the CT side, so that's a big deal on cash. But their T sides are all fine. Those all look pretty good. Aside from the game where they looked like they did just choke crazily on the first day, aside from that, I think ultimately T side all looks pretty good. Their big issue at the moment is, I think, some of the reads on CT. Like they were off sometimes, or they didn't have any answers. That's sometimes the problem. Like they knew what was happening, but they didn't have like a plan B. Like, what do we do after that fails? You know, they just kept going to the same thing again and again. So I don't know how you fix that, but at least they know the direction where the problems lie.
To me, that feels like the CT sides don't have set plays. What you want to do, especially if you're not good at adapting on the fly, your players are not necessarily super good at improvising in situations, is you want to have 3 to 4 different pieces on the CT side as well. Have like an aggressive middle strat, let's say Mirage, for example. You'll have a middle aggressive piece where you do certain things, you do certain flashes, everyone knows exactly what to do. You play passively, you play on the site, maybe you have two different ways of holding a site, for example. So make names for the pieces you want to do to make it easier for your team to hold the thing. Same with cash, a map where rotations, adaptations is a key thing. You want to have different kind of pieces that you can just call out, everyone knows exactly what to do, and that just makes things a lot easier and simpler.
Like, it feels like for Renegades, when they're on T side, it's all prepared. Everyone knows their position. They're playing it out. They get the picks. This guy's looking this way. They've got all that sorted, but then the teamwork doesn't cross over to the CT side. Like on CT side, like just look at the Mirage game. They just sit in similar spots and they just essentially hope I headshot this guy when he comes out. That can't be all it is, because at the end of the day, headshots are only going to get you so far in the game unless you've got the best players in the world. So you've got to also be able to actually adapt to what's happening. You've got to mix up your setups, like he's saying here. That's the problem. You can say, oh, I'll do it on the fly. Like, why didn't this player go over there? Not every player is really cerebral that way. Not every player can read the game from the position he's playing at that point in time. So that's where the in-game leader, that's where the captain and the coach have got to come in. And they've actually got to put in place a system where, okay, our players know how to play, but where do we put them on the map? That's the big improvement I think they've got to make.
I agree.
And overall, over the last 4 days, we've seen the cream of the crop of Asian teams and Oceanic teams. Final thoughts on what you've seen this weekend in terms of skill in China, Korea, and Australia, and everywhere else in Asia?
I mean, with Korea, you have to say they still got a long ways to go. MVP showed a bit of a glimpse of hope, I guess. You know, but they knew the sort of the fundamentals of how to place proper smokes and whatnot, but their execution was still sloppy. Teamwork still a bit off, too individualistic. But yeah, I mean, you never know. Could be on the rise, but still looking quite sloppy there.
Yeah, if I have to go like country by country, essentially, yeah, as he said, Korea's still a long way behind. Like Monster, they just had nothing. MVP at least had the basics of how to play. Maybe the players aren't the right players. Maybe they don't have the right talent level to be able to execute. Then you go to Mongols, the previous champions. They still had all the things they had last time. Like the fragging was really strong. Zilkenberg had a crazy tournament. Machine Gun a little bit more quiet. So they were fine. The problem with them is I think they've just been worked out. Like they are a team that people have scouted now, and now people know how they play. And they have those crazy T sides, and then they have not a lot on CT side. So Mongols, just okay, but at least some talent there. Go to the Australian teams. Immunity, unfortunately, just looked like they can't play under pressure. Like they had nothing in the playoff section. They were obviously fine in the group stage. Renegades was pretty good. They got better as the tournament went on, but still got to fix some CT side things. For the Chinese teams, TyLoo is the best team in the tournament. I actually would have thought that even if they'd have lost this map here. Overall, beginning to end, they showed the most quality, very, very consistent. We know the map pool and where they're going to win. They could even win on maps that are weak for them, like they won on Overpass a few times. In terms of Vici, I think they're like a mix between Mongols and TyLoo. It's like they've got the strong fragging, and they've got like the basics of the meta, but they don't have anything more advanced than that. So to me, the teams who could make the most advancement is Mongols and Vici, but just the overall skill level you can see there has gotten a lot better since the last minor, where it was like a 1- and 2-man show at that one.
Yeah, like I said previously, I think it was day 3 or day 2. I feel like there's a lot of similarities to way back in, let's say, 2004, maybe 2005, before WNV, what were they called?
Project KR.
Project KR, before they really surfaced. You saw the individual skill was there. You saw that they had the pieces. It was just a matter of putting the puzzle together. And I feel like, especially VG, Mongols, they're both in that situation. TyLoo, obviously, a little bit ahead, but they're all three in that situation where, you know, it could all just click.
Yeah, just close it down, mate. Don't worry about it.
All three in that situation where...
I think the guy who controls the observer at PGL was controlling the lights there. So, well done, mate.
No, so I think all those three teams especially are in a situation where, you know, just a matter of getting all the pieces of the puzzle together.
So I think that was a signal. I think that was a sign to say we should wrap up.
Right.
I think people want to go home, but not the drink. Apparently, there's a cocktail which you don't want to have that's called "I Want to Go Home." Nartu's laughing because he knows. Okay, any quick final thoughts? Anything at all before we wrap up? Any last things? You happy? You enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, I think it was a good tournament overall. For me, the big storyline was really like how legit is TyLoo, because that's the thing. In Malmo, yeah, they had the upset, but then in the playoffs, if you remember, Navi just destroyed them completely. So if they'd have come here and they'd have disappointed, or they'd have been like one map wonders or something, that would have kind of like killed the hype for TyLoo. Now they'd have had to just do some really crazy. So to me, there is evolution there. They're showing some depth, and now we just want to see them come to the West, which we're going to for the Cologne qualifier, and then we want to see how well they can do there, because maybe this is a team that we can see in a major potentially going further.
Yeah, for me, this was testament to the depth of their lineup and the skill that they have in that team, and I think there's a lot to come from TyLoo in the future.
Okay, thanks both of you for a great weekend. Thanks for joining me here on the couch, and also thank you to all of you at home for joining us as well on Twitch. That's it. Your champions of Asia are TyLoo. Renegades join them at the major qualifier too, and it's going to be really interesting to see what they can do there. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.